Hey, it's Bryan from FXBilliards. Why 7? Because 7's better than 5. But these are going to be the shots, the multi-rail position shots that you're going to need the most. Now, in case you didn't know, I do over 100 in-person lessons each year. Over the last 5 years, I've done more than 5,000 lessons via Zoom. These are the shots that I want my students to have in the bag, because when you can do these shots, you can do a lot of other shots. So these are the 7 that are most used and also the best ones to have in your bag so that you can develop derivatives of these shots that will allow you to do some other things. So let's get started. Most of the shots you see today are going to require you to have a skill called running English. Running English, also known as spin, side spin. Helping English is sometimes called, or helping spin, very often in games like snooker. This is a concept that you have to understand. So I'm going to give you a crash course right here, and I'm going to give you a link to a video that will help explain this to you a little bit better. Running English is this. My 2 ball is there on the rail. I need to get down table to get shape on this 8 ball here. In order for the cue ball to want to go around the table, it has to be spinning clockwise. If you think about it, it's going to spin off of one rail, spin off the next, and come down table. If you do not have that spin on the ball, you're going to have a shot that looks like this. It will not make its way down table no matter what you do. It's just going to stall at the other end of the table. The way the balls get around the table and the way they get up the table is running English. So if I want the cue ball to go counterclockwise around the table, from this direction I am putting high left-hand English on the ball. If I needed to go the other way, I would be putting high right-hand English on the ball. That if you don't have this in the game, you're not going to be able to do these shots and a ton of other shots that you're going to face in pool. So this is what the shot looks like with the running English. You can see how easily the ball moves all the way around the table. Even though we had an 8-foot shot down table, we can get shape on this 8 ball. Without the English, it's not going to happen. With the English, you get down table again. One of the major fears intermediate, usually high intermediate players who are using these skills have is that they are going to scratch. So a lot of these 45-degree shots, just like I was taught at 12, 14 years old, are going to be close to scratching. They're going to look like scratch shots. But if you understand the path that this cue ball is going to take, you'll know that you don't have to worry about scratching. Now, some of the examples I give you, scratching will be on the table, literally. But you can adjust your speed in order to keep from scratching. So let's take a look at this shot. If I play this with high right-hand English, again, always running English, and I'm playing the 3 ball and I need to get down here on the 8, watch the path of my cue ball here. We cross pretty much the center of the table here. We don't have to worry about scratching. But do understand, some angles are going to take you to a spot where you might have the potential to scratch, and we'll talk about those as you learn the shots. But in the meantime, this is shot 1. If you saw my video on this 45-degree angle, you will know that this is one of my favorite shots in pool. Why is it one of my favorites? Number 1, I'm good at it. We usually like the things that we're good at, right? Number 2, I can get all over the table with this shot. So on your list of multi-rail position shots, on your list of 7, this is going to be number 1, even though it is not the easiest one. We play high right-hand English. We have about a 45-degree cut. It doesn't have to be exactly 45. This has been the case, guys, for 200 years. I know some people want to take credit for inventing the concept of a 45-degree cut coming off of multiple rails and moving through the center of the table. Let's go back about maybe 300 years in carom. Everybody playing carom 300 years ago knew that this was the case. So here we are, high right-hand English. We're going to come close to crossing in the center of the table. The The shot looks like this once again. Here you can see we came even closer to the center of the table. We were over here because we were so close to the center. But this is one of those angles that, given your location of your cue ball and the speed, you do take a risk of scratching in this pocket. Now, once you have the shot down, guys, you can get the speed down. Why did I move it to this side of the table? Because every shot that I show you today, you need to practice from both sides. Everybody's got their favorite side. For $1,000, I'm shooting it into that pocket. For $500, I'm shooting into that pocket. For free, I like this side. So we play it high left-hand English this time. We come around, and this is how we control our cue ball when we see an angle that might put us in this pocket. You hit it a little bit softer. Guess what? I could have held my cue ball up here or all the way down here. Even if I was headed to this pocket, all of these areas here allow me to make this 8-ball. So without turning this into a video about this one shot, I do want to show you a couple examples of what you can do when your second object ball is not on the rail as we showed in the original example. Here's the exact same shot, guys. Slightly different angle, so we'll hit a different spot on the rail down here. So we're going to fall right here, and now we have a makeable 8-ball, where, by the way, before you were not getting on this 8-ball from that angle without doing what we just did. Let's look at some more. Another thing we can do with this shot, and every other shot you're going to learn today, is to break up clusters. Now, here's a situation. We're playing 8-ball. Our 8-ball is tied up with our opponent's ball. We're on the 1. We need to break up this cluster if we have any hope of running out. We play this with high right-hand English. We come in here, we hit the cluster, and good things can happen. Here's our situation. We're playing 8-ball. We're down to our last 2 balls. We have the 1, the 5, there's the 8. An unfortunate number of people are going to try to play the 5 into the 1 and then hope that they're on the 5 and hope that they get on the 8. I'm going to give you a 90%er, okay? All you have to do is be able to execute the first shot, and the rest of them are going to fall into place. First off, if you shoot this combination, I'm not going to make this about why you shouldn't be shooting so many combinations, but a lot of you are shooting way too many. I'm talking hundreds more a year than you should be shooting. If you shoot the combination, you have to control 3 balls. Most intermediate players have a hard time sending the cue ball to the 1 and putting the 1 in that pocket, and now you're going to add something that's going to multiply the difficulty many times over. Stop doing it. Now that you know to slow down on your combination shots, what do? High right-hand spin. We come off a rail 1, 2, 3. We'll come out here. We'll have a shot on the 5 that will wrap things up for us. Notice that I did not hit the ball very hard, okay? I've got nice position on this. If I put more speed on it, I could even get straight on it, but we don't need to. Stop doing things that you don't need to do. That's your other tip for the day. Just make this ball. Guess what happens? I'm all over the 8. I'm all over the 8. But this is where I am, and I have a shot on the 8, and just as easily as we got here, we could get here. So let's take a look at a couple more shots that we could use that exact same skill in order to get position. Shot number 3. By the way, these shots are in no particular order, but this is the absolute easiest one. It is the absolute one that you're going to use the most in your pool career, and is the one that most amateur players are going to screw up. So we are on the solids. We have a hanger here. We have a ball that's straight in. We have an 8-ball all the way down table. 99% of people are going to shoot that one ball first. Why? It's straight in and they've got the hanger, right? Plus, some angles you can't even get to the hanger from here. If this ball is here or whatever and you can't get to it, you still do not want to play that hanger first. What do we do to get on this 8? We roll forward. Don't put your cue ball here. Don't put your cue ball here. And the biggest mistake that happens over and over again is you want to go rail first. Rail first. Coming off of this rail and then this rail to come around here, all you're doing is making the shot more difficult. And guess what? I made a video about pocket hangers, and I mentioned in that video that one of the best players on earth had missed a pocket hanger trying to go rail first right before I made the video. It's happened again. Not the same player, a different player. Top 3 on the planet missed a ball that was a pocket hanger. Why? Because sometimes they're deeper in there than you realize. If you play ball first, high left-hand English, a lot of spin here, guys, just high left. You don't have to be good at English to get down here and get on this ball, or to even get in the vicinity where you can make this ball. Here's another situation where you can use this. 6 is in the pocket, the 5 is out in space, the 8-ball is here. A lot of players are shooting that 6. You know why? They want to put balls in the pocket, and that's a layup. I like to run out. That's my preference. You shoot that 6 in the pocket and you try to get on that 5-ball, guess what? You're playing the wrong shot. Play this ball, roll it in, put your cue ball on the rail, just like we talked about. Where is this going to go? No rail first crap. High right-hand English. We got all of this down here. It puts us good on that 8-ball. We remember if we cross the center of the table, we can't scratch. All we can do is hit this rail, get down here, and we have a layup on the 8-ball. Keep that in mind. Where is your connected rail that is going to put you down here without going rail first? Yes, there are times we need to do it, but those are the only times that we do it. You know, there's controversy in some things in pool because a lot of people come from a very small pool universe where they just haven't learned certain things, they haven't seen certain things, so they have what we call confirmation bias. If you show them the proper way to do something, their cup is so full of misinformation that they can't take in, they can't grasp the concept. This is one of those shots. I see it all the time. I hear about it in the comments. People just don't get it. We're playing 8-ball. We are on the 6. We have the 5 down table and the 8 is here. What shot do we shoot on this 5-ball? Now, a lot of players, a disproportionate number of players, will try to go forward on this ball and get on this 6. And what you're doing is you are moving across the shot line. So what that means is everything from here to ending up here is very bad for your game. And it means you're going to have really good speed when you cross this shot line to get on this 6. And guess what, guys? When you get on the 6, you better be here or here because you won't get on the 8. What happens if I move directly towards the 6? I am on the 8-ball. This is what separates professional players from amateur players very often, is understanding how to move the cue ball into the shot line. If you want to do this some way different, feel free. We all need rackers. If you want to go up and back and come down here and pretend that you can stop the cue ball here for a perfect shot on the 6, please do. But in the real world, what you want to do is move in line with this shot. What do? We play this with low right-hand English. We come off of that rail, and look what happens, guys. We are moving directly in line with this 6. If I undershoot it or overshoot it, I am directly in line with the 6 ball. I understand the concept is more than some of you want to take in, but that is simply how you want to shoot that shot. If you do something different, yes, you can possibly get out. Guess what? I'm getting out every time when I shoot that. Stop playing the shot wrong. Make yourself that much better a player. Here's the same shot in reverse. This time you don't have to shoot a draw shot. It's very simple. You're going to play high right-hand English. You're going to come off with 2 rails. And once again, you're moving in line with the shot. There's our 6 ball. Totally straight shot. I'm just going to roll this in. Actually, I'm going to do a little stun run through, little drag shot rather, and make it that way. And again, we're all over this 8 ball. If you watch FX Billiards, you've seen this shot before. It is one of my favorites. We're on the 1 ball. We're on the wrong side of the 1. We need to get down here for the 8 ball. Let's make the 8 ball even tougher. Let's put it here. What do we do here? We come off of 3 rails. 1, 2, 3. This look familiar, guys? And we're going to move straight towards that pocket with a very small chance of scratching, and we will be out. So the ball comes around the table off of 3 rails. We get over here. Anywhere in this zone, we're going to be good on the 8 ball. From certain angles, you will scratch. But if I set that up for you and gave you different angles and said, scratch in this pocket for $500, I bet you couldn't do it. You might do it in 4 or 5 shots, but in the meantime, a lot of people are scared of that shot. Oh, I'm coming around. I'm coming towards the pocket. Once again, if your cue ball from certain angles crosses the center of the table, you can't scratch. Number 2, regulate your speed. If my cue ball is coming this way and my 8 ball is all the way over here, I can stop anywhere along here. All you need to do is change your speed and you won't have to worry about scratching. Or you can do like I would do, go all out and shoot this. So stop being so afraid of scratching, guys. It is a very rare occurrence and it's not very easy. Let's take a look at this shot from a different angle. Slightly different here. You'll tell by the trajectory of the cue ball. 1, 2, 3. We just slow down. Look where we're going, okay? We just hit it with a slightly different speed and we're going to get here. This shot can again be used for a lot of things. Remember we talked about moving in line with your shot? That applies here as well. We can use this shot to move in line with the 8 ball. Give ourselves a better angle on the 8. If you think you can hold the cue ball up here and then leave it on that rail and play a cut shot on this 8, that's fine. This is what Bryan's doing. I'm coming around off of these rails and I'm going to move right in line with that 8 ball. And if I overshoot it, I'll be here instead of here. If I undershoot it, I'm going to be here. This is a higher percentage shot than you were going to have trying to hold up if you did manage to hold up. So that's the proper shot, moving in line with the ball. You do it the way you find best. We only tell you the way you should be doing it. And like we always say, somebody's got a rack. Let's look at another one. This is a shot that is not used nearly often enough. We're on the 3. We need to get on the 8. We don't have a lot of options. You can try to spin this down. You're just going to find yourself in trouble. But you can zigzag your way across and get on that 8 ball without being all that good. Just put a little bit of right on it and you're going to see something that looks like this. And you'll just bounce out and you'll be on that 8 ball all day long. Let's shoot it again. I just want to show you how easy this shot is. Because other than the hanger, this might be the easiest shot. It is not the easiest one to recognize all the time. And it's one that brings fear into a lot of players' hearts for whatever reason. But you're just zigzagging across, guys. The shot looks like this. Is a little bit of right-hand spin. We come across and we get on that 8 ball. You're going to have that shot come up. It's probably come up and you didn't recognize it before, so put that in your game. Let's look at something else. This is the most absolute difficult shot you're going to be confronted with today, guys. Difficult because you are going to need a good stroke. Here we are. We're on the 3 ball. We can't use our 3 rail position here to come around because the 11 is in the way, then the 14 is in the way. And if we want to get down here for a shot on this 8 ball, which could be on the rail, it could be here, it could be a lot of places, the same shot works. We need to come off of these 2 rails to get down here. So you need to shoot this with low left-hand English. This is a draw stroke. Shot looks like this. We come off of those rails, we come down here, same area that we would be in before, and we have a pretty decent shot on this 8. You shoot it even stronger, you come off the rail and you get right here on the 8 ball. What more could you ask for? So keep that shot in your game. If you have that draw stroke, if you don't, it's something to look forward to, because low left-hand English coming off of those rails, this is something that most league night players not only can't do, but have never seen before. That's what we call a spirit breaker. Here's another use for this shot. Low left-hand English, our 8 ball is here. Now we have a hanger, but we can't get to this hanger very easily. So everything on that side of the table puts us out on that 8 ball. It is the exact same shot. You can adjust for your speed or whatever you need to.
Hey there, ready to elevate your pool game? Whether you're moving from intermediate to advanced or you're aiming to become a local legend, we've got you covered. Join us for exclusive in-person lessons, master classes, and personalized Zoom sessions. This is your chance to experience the magic with tailored coaching from Bryan, no matter where you are, even if you don't have a pool table at home. So why wait? Sharpen your fundamentals, master strategic play, and boost your mental game. Visit FXBilliards.com now to learn more and take the next step in your pool journey. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like, leave a comment, and subscribe to FX Billiards for more tips and tricks. Now let's get back to the lesson.
One of the things that occurs as a content creator, and you've got, 15 to 20 million views, is you see a lot of comments and you know the questions that people are going to ask. So you can address them in the video. That's what I'm going to do here. Now, one of the questions that the low intermediate players in particular are going to ask is, when I'm shooting that shot where I'm cutting the ball into the corner pocket and I'm coming around this way, number 1, where should I be aiming for that ball? Well, I'll tell you where you should be aiming. It depends. First off, you don't have to shoot it from this distance. Second, at that short distance to the pocket and that speed, you can probably shoot it, even though you're adding the side spin, you can probably shoot it at that speed without changing your ghost ball location. Now, you've got things that go along with putting spin on the ball. I'm not going to get into them here. You watched the video that we made just about English and how to put spin on the ball and the different nuances of it, so you have an understanding of this. But if you're asking me where to aim on that shot, then you're going to have problems without an understanding that sometimes we're aiming, we're hitting the ghost ball, sometimes we're adjusting for the throw on the ball that we're shooting in. But watch the other videos if that's one of your questions. The next question we're going to get is, how do we know where our cue ball is going to go when we shoot this shot? Let's say we have this back cut and we shoot this shot. Are we coming to this rail or this rail? Are we coming straight for the pocket? How do you know when you come down on this shot, you play this with high left-hand English, that you're going to come here versus here? You shoot them. You shoot them. If you want to know these things and shoot 10 reps or 20 reps, you're never going to know it. If you want to know where the ball's going to go, shoot the shot. Next question I'm going to get. Where exactly are you hitting on the cue ball when you shoot with English? The diagram shows you. You don't want to hit it where I'm hitting it. I am at extreme portions of this cue ball because I can hit it and not miss cue. I'm not giving you a bird's eye view. I'm not going to give you a GoPro view of where I'm hitting the ball, because there'll be people all over the world that are watching this that will be miscuing. You can't hit the ball where you see the guy in the video hitting the ball, because the guy in the video probably has more experience. Well, some of them, I'm not sure they have much experience, but most of the guys that are making the quality videos have experience enough that they're probably hitting this ball a little bit more extreme than you would. Draw shot, follow shot, English. So the answer to the question is mock the diagrams that you see in the corner when you're trying to shoot these. You don't need to know where I'm hitting it, okay? It's not going to work for you. We have different equipment, different stroke, different follow through, different everything. It's going to be different. Next question. On those rail shots, Bryan, comes off of 3 rails and puts us on shot 2. I love this shot. I could do this all day. What are we aiming at? What are we hitting in order to shoot this ball into the corner pocket, off of the rail with running English, come back around and get on that next ball, and then be able to do it again? Since I was 10 years old, I've been shooting these rail shots, hitting the ball and the cushion at the same time. Everyone who I've taught this shot to can make it, and make it consistently. And we all do the same thing. We aim for the ball and the cushion at the same time. Now, someone is going to be out there, maybe a few people, okay, some more respected than others, that are going to tell you that on rail shots, you don't need to hit the ball and the cushion at the same time. What you want to do is hit in front of the ball just a centimeter or so, because the cue ball is going to come off the rail and it's going to basically cut that ball down the rail. Here's the problem. Can you shoot 2 millimeters, 3, a centimeter in front of that ball? Can you aim like that? Can you aim like that from here with your rail bridge to make that shot? No. No. You probably cannot. Technically, yes. If we play it in slow motion, we can make this shot hitting in front of the ball. But when I get down on this shot and I'm shooting it in that pocket, I'm aiming for the ball and the cushion at the same time. All of you that watch this channel have watched me run entire tables full of balls that are on the rail in numerical order. And every one of those shots, I shot hitting the ball and the cushion at the same time. So if you want to spend your life trying to get a centimeter in front of that ball so that you can cut it down the rail, have at it. But I play a lot of pool. I'm pretty decent at it. And I can't come within a centimeter of that ball to put it in the pocket, aim for the ball in the cushion. Your life is going to be a lot simpler. You're actually going to put the ball in the pocket and ask the guy that tells you to hit just before the ball to shoot them all off and do that. Because I think you're going to have a rude awakening. Will the multi-rail shots work without the English? A lot of the shots that I showed you today, you can execute them without the side spin, but the locations on the table that we got to, you can't do it without the side spin. So you have to do it with the side spin. Next question. Why do you call it English? Why is it English and not side spin? Well, yes, it is both. Side spin is English. It goes back a couple hundred years, guys. Side spin, we've called it English. Don't ask me the origin, because the people that tell you they know the origin are just guessing or making it up, or they're choosing one of 3 very likely stories and they're running with it. Okay, we're not sure exactly what the origin of it is. And you don't need to worry about it. Just understand when somebody says English, you know what the hell they're talking about. Because a lot of players are only going to use the term English. They're not going to say side spin. So you need to know what they're talking about. I have a lot of pool books in my library. And if you look at something, particularly something that was written, the best books that were written over 20 years ago, they don't even mention side spin. What they're talking about is English. They use the word English on every one of those terms. So have a great day. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. If you're not subscribing, you're probably racking for some of my students or some of our viewers. Have a great day.